Okay, so I don't know if you can hear anything, but really, does it matter? We can hear each other.
I can hear.
I can hear.
Okay.
It's good.
I can hear.
Oh my god, cool.
Oh, by the way, Bob's Burgers, the voice actors, the cast, they did improv. It was really funny. I'll show you guys.
Oh my
we
god, that would be
for
really
that show.
Oh.
Good lord.
Who would we be?
I'd be a dog. I'd be like the dog of wisdom. I'd be like,
Would you be?
You really shouldn't wear that. It makes you look fat from this angle.
Would you be the person? Or sorry, would you be the dog that speaks in her mind, or
No.
would you be like Brian? From
I'd be
Family?
like Brian.
You would be, I think, yeah.
Like, it's so nice being a dog. You have no idea, girl.
What would your attitude be like? Like if someone came and like put a bone on the counter and you're there staring at it, you'd be like, you piece of shit! How dare you leave it on the counter?
Yeah, I'd be like, am I supposed to get that? Like, I'm like 4 foot nothing.
All right. It's Dustin and.
Oh, are we starting?
Yeah.
Hello. It's Dustin and Amanda. I think we could put that in. That was pretty good.
Don't fucking introduce me for yourself.
Amanda.
Oh.
Oh my god, I can't hear my voice. I feel like I have no voice because it's not directly into my ears. It's freaking me out. Anyway.
I definitely can hear myself. Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, I
the
can.
The volume is really good.
So
and I can hear you.
Cool.
You know what's funny? This is work. Podcasting is work. So I'm going to bring in a story that happened just a fucking couple seconds
Bring it
ago.
in. And guys, this is my first time hearing it, so I'm excited.
So like I'm walking and I'm going to the other studio that we were supposed to be in, but we're in this other studio. So I was like taking my coat off. I was walking quick over to the room, realized it wasn't our room, walked back, and I'm walking behind this guy where they just decided to put this desk in the middle of the fucking library.
Yeah.
So this guy is standing by the computer and I'm walking behind him. And he looks at me. He's like, "Hey, Matt, could you just like probably not walk behind? You know, this is a workstation. Like, you probably walk around." I'm like, "What?" "Yeah, I just walk around." I'm like, "Why?" Because like this is my workstation. I'm like, "Oh yeah, standing." And then I walked away. I was like, "Bet you're fucking standing. I don't care what the fuck you're doing.
Oh my god,
you're standing."
Oh, so he was just a guy at the library.
Yeah, it's one of the guys
around
here.
the corner.
Oh.
Here, yeah.
Ugh. Anyway, that's my fucking.
I kind of want to just go by right now and just give him a dirty look.
I was so quick on my fucking.
Just for fun.
I was so quick on my toes. I was like, Amanda would have appreciated this.
It was great. I actually saw I saw the tail end of it, and I saw like the fire in Dustin's eyes.
I was like, "You're standing?
Yeah, standing?
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
And then he whipped Virginia and he was gone.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what happened. I just don't get that. And see, it's triggering. I mean, to a lot of people that wouldn't bother someone if
No.
someone asked you to walk around.
No.
It's triggering because
And to say that to a complete stranger, it's bizarre. It's
This
like,
is my workspace.
like, wow, are you not having
What?
a good day?
yeah, I'm like, I told Justin, I was like, how many people do you think he told for the entire
Yeah.
day to not walk behind him? Because he was very passionate. But it's triggering for me because in the bakery at Sobeys that I used to work at, this bitch that was in the fucking dough area, like the mixing, like she
Yeah.
would make the dough. I was in the cake area. I was a cake decorator. They were side by side
Isn't
each
it
other.
so funny how we both started out as cake decorators?
Yeah.
I
Did
worked in
you
the
really?
cake center. Yeah, that was my
That's
first
hilarious.
job.
In order for me to get down to
At Save on Foods.
to the exit
Okay.
or to the hallway where there's more ingredients, I
Yeah.
have to walk around that fucking bakery table. But instead, I just walk behind the table where they're
I
doing
would
shit.
so do that,
I
too.
kid you not. There was so much drama. They were like, I can't. Like, I made her cry. She was like, I can't have you do this because what if I slip and fall and hurt myself? And I'm like, yeah, you'll do that. Making dough. Such a hard job. Oh my god, that flour, better get those steel toe boots. You're gonna probably need
Yeah,
them.
exactly. Like you're working on fucking ice or something.
You piece of shit. She was the one, and this woman was probably, I don't know. She was like, when I was 18,
50, 60?
No. She was like 25.
Oh
so
my god, you made her sound like an old lady. Jesus, get the
But-
stick out of your
But
ass.
here's the yeah, she was like this. She was the mature person, and she was acting like a child. And I just that every time I hear like so when that guy was like, "Hey, could you walk around the table or this desk that's in the middle of the fucking library instead of going behind where anyone could go in a public space? Can you please walk around in the front?" I was like, "Oh, not today, not today." I'm sorry.
I have a similar story, honestly, and it just happened maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago. I was on the ferry going to see Cole in Nanaimo.
Yeah.
And have you guys been on the ferry?
Yeah.
Like the BC what are they called?
I don't know.
BC
what
ferries.
it's called.
Yeah, the BC ferries.
The ones where you can put your vehicle in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're so fun.
Okay, so I was sitting in a chair, and it was like I can't remember. I think it was like it might have been a late sail, and there wasn't a lot of people on the ferry, or it might have been really early in the morning. I can't remember. So they had like rows and rows and rows of chairs. So I was sitting in a row in the back, and there was literally like nobody around me. And this woman, she was like 2 rows up. So what I do sometimes is I'll put my legs up on the chair in front of me because like I'm just stretching it out or whatever. And there was nobody there. And it was like my shoes weren't dirty. And so then she's like here. She's like here. And I'm like maybe right there, like over, but two rows back.
Yeah.
And she looks like this, and she kind of looks at my foot, and she's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And she gets up, and moves over there. And it's so long ago now that I can't remember the exact dialogue. And I was like, "Oh, I think I said something like, you can just ask me to put my feet down. You don't have to make a big deal." She's like, "How rude is that to put your foot like 10 feet away from someone's head? Like, ugh." And I kind of just looked at her and laughed, and that was it. And that's how I deal with those situations now. And people are like, they take something small and they make a big thing out of it. It's because they got nothing else going on, and they're petty. And all you can do is just laugh at them. Don't give them the time and energy that they want from you. You know, that's kind of how I deal with it now. And that reminded me of that. It was like, oh my God. I mean, this woman was big. She was overweight. She didn't look very happy. But, whatever the reason why you're unhappy, it's like, I mean, really? Like, you have to bring that into my atmosphere? Like, fuck.
You were just chilling. I had this...
and I get it. Like, but I wasn't close enough to her for her to make it a big deal. I really wasn't. And I would have never put my feet up there if she was closer. Like...
You were 2 rows back. I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
Do you hate it when like people sit 2 fucking rows back and their presence is so much? I hate it so fucking
like you
much.
would think that my feet were like right beside her face.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Although, it would be nice. Fucking bitch.
Although I have been on the bus before. This happened years ago. I would be on the bus, and I got on the bus one day and it was completely empty. Okay? Empty. So I get on the bus, I sit down, and then a couple stops later, you guys are looking at that over there. So I was
I'm just staring off into distance.
Okay. So so 2 stops later, a guy gets on. And like I just said, the whole bus was empty. This dude sits next to me.
Oh my God, of course.
So of course I said something. That's fucking weird. Yeah, I looked at him and I was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, there's so many other seats here. And then he got up and left. I was just like, "You're fucking weirdo. What the fuck?" Like, that's weird.
The same thing
yes,
happened
I'm
to me.
gonna say something. Really?
Yeah,
That's
except it was in the
fucking weird.
SkyTrain. There was no one. And there was maybe a group of people that all kind of sat and dispersed out in the SkyTrain. And I just so happened to be sitting on a fucking elderly
God.
seat.
I've seen
no
those-
one else.
I've seen the disabled people go off on people.
No one else.
This area is for, and I get it, but like, my God, it's like they're just looking for people to be sitting in that area, and it's like they go for them.
No one.
I never sit in those seats now, ever, because I'm just like,
I don't either for that
There
reason.
is
I would rather
no one.
stand.
And this lady walks right up to me and she's like, "Oh, that's my seat. Can you move, please?" And I'm like, bitch, look behind you. There's one closer to you instead of you having to walk to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
you
to make
could have
a point.
sat down.
Just to make a point.
And then you would have been seated before you came to me and started talking.
Maybe she thought she was only allowed to sit in that seat. Like, seriously.
God.
Maybe she was like, "Oh, well, I'm elderly and disabled, so maybe that's just my area." Like, I don't know.
God. It's just one of those things.
But you know those seats, though. Like, when the story I just told about me sitting on the bus, and then the guy, you know what I'm talking about? It's those 2-seaters. Like 2-seaters, the 2-seaters. So he was just like, like a love seat. And he's just like, "Oh, let me just cozy up on here beside
that's
you." And there's
awful.
nobody else on the fucking bus. Nobody.
Fucking awkward.
So yeah, it was one of those seats.
What is, like, it's those types of moments where I feel like I'm allowed to be a piece of shit to people, like elderly.
Well, it's almost like they're
pregnant
asking
people.
for it at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be
I don't
like,
even
"Are you
see it.
insane?"
I don't even see it as being a piece of shit. It's more like, I want to talk to this person to understand what their mind frame is. curious. Like, what are you thinking right now? Like, why are you sitting beside me?
Yeah. Oh man, it's the same incident that happened at the store that I was at, where this lady with her grandmother latched to her arm.
Have you told that story?
Well, I was in the middle of the hallway or aisle, sorry.
The aisle, yeah.
And
We were in
there was
Dollarama.
enough room to get by. Because, when you're in the middle of a fucking aisle, there's both
They make
ways.
those aisles big for something. Like, hello, it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
Is this recently?
I know.
It was a while ago,
Yeah.
But like in Vancouver?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so me and Justin were looking at shit, and this woman was like, excuse me. And I looked at her, I'm like, is there that space not good enough? Like, are you okay?
Like, why are you speaking to me?
And so I move anyway.
Yeah.
And so she's bringing her.
Oh God.
Yeah. And I was like, that's so weird. And I don't remember the dialogue. She laughed at me at the end because I was like, that's weird. And then she just was like, and then walked away with her mother. So I was like, okay, whatever. So now cut to, I'm not in the aisle anymore. I'm at the end of the aisle on the outside looking at this. You know how they might have merchandise at the very end of the aisle, like out of it? Like
on the head of it, kind of?
Yeah, on the head of the aisle. So I'm looking, and they're in the other, they're on the right of me, and they're coming, and I'm literally in front of this shelf. And instead of them going around me, she literally goes right in front of me with this much room, and she pushes me with her fucking elderly lady on her arm. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you, what?
Oh my God.
And I was like, you shouldn't, like, don't use your fucking mom as the excuse to be a piece of shit. Like, that is just ridiculous. Like, you don't have any right to do that.
Wow.
Like, what if I were this big macho guy and I pushed you to try to get out of your way or to try get through? Like, I would be in jail. So it's just like,
I wouldn't even give them that much. I would just be like, okay, don't touch me. Don't do that again, because it's not going to be pretty. Like, I seriously, like, why are you touching me? If you're invading my personal space, there better be a damn good reason, and that didn't sound like a good enough reason.
I'm a sweet old lady, and I deserve respect. I need it.
I had an incident in the grocery store not long ago as well with an older lady. Like, I was yelling across the store to her. It was pretty bad. And that's the first time that's ever happened. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. So I was in a bad mood.
Tell us.
Let me just add that. It was in
disclaimer.
Yeah. It was in the evening. And she was a miserable old bat too, let me just tell you. Like, she was not, some innocent little old lady here.
Yeah.
Because actually, I would have a soft spot. If she was a sweet little old lady and she'd know what she was doing, of course I'd let her hit me, and, it was an accident. But I think you knew
I don't think it was an accident.
No, it wasn't an accident. And I could see right through that bullshit,
Yeah.
too. So I'm glad that you said something, Dustin. But, so I'm walking, and the place is pretty packed, and I'm walking through the produce section, and then she just, how people just sometimes they just stop. They're walking, and then they just stop. Like they're the only one there. And then I'm like, okay, maybe she's going to start moving again. No, she didn't. She's just sitting there picking her nails or picking her nose or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And then I kind of like walked past her, and I commented. I said something like, okay, like, move, or I don't know what I said, move, or like, okay, like, you're not the only one here. And started walking, and then I'm walking, and I'm looking at like the bagged spinach, and I'm like looking at the wall, and I'm like trying to look at the dates and stuff, and I'm taking one, and then I feel her on me, like I feel her eyes on me. So I look behind me, and there she is, where she was before when I left her, staring at me.
Where I left her.
Like where she was before. She hasn't moved.
I left that bitch over there. Fucking fat ass, just not moving. She not going at all.
You stay there till I tell you not to go. No, so she was standing there, and I look back, and she's giving me a dirty look, and this is like literally 2 minutes later. I'm like, I could feel her. I could feel her energy. So I look back, and she's giving me a dirty look, and then she looks away. Like, she gives me a dirty look, and she's like, like that. And then I yell across this, she was, I don't know, she's probably about 15, 20 feet away from me. And I yell, do you have something to say?
Oh my God.
I swear to God. And I'm like, oh my God, Amanda, thinking to myself, what are you doing right now? I'm like, do you have something to say? And she's like, oh, I already said it. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't hear you. And then she kind of mimicked, she kind of mumbled something. And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, she was one of those like miserable, she wasn't even old. She was like, 50, 55, like just a miserable old bitch.
Ugh.
You know?
That is so funny.
And like I know, listen, like I'm like listening to myself tell this story right now, and I'm like, I know I could have been the bigger person and just been like, oh, sorry, and like, cause I see sweet people that are my age all the time in the grocery store, and they're so like nice and like, oh, sorry, and but you know what? Like I see through your bullshit. Like I'm sorry, like that pisses me off, and I'm gonna say something.
Well,
you know,
we're only human, so sometimes we have like those moments where we're just like, I got nothing. Like same with this library guy. I'm like, I got nothing in my heart right now. You're fucking done. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna pay the consequences. There's gonna be karma for me. I'm gonna probably hurt myself. I'm gonna lose a job. I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna tear you apart. I don't give a fuck. Sometimes people just need to say that, and like I want, like,
and sometimes I won't even recognize myself. You know, I'll have somebody who walks right into me completely.
You're a
rude,
good.
and I'm like, oh, it's okay,
Amanda. You're a good person. I know that by hanging out with you, and you know that by hanging out with me. We're telling the bad.
Sometimes I wish I could just let things go, though, and other times I'm just like, I can't. I have to say something. I have to make them realize what a fucking idiot they are.
But it's not. I don't even think it's that. I just think you said you were in a shitty mood, and that's what it is. Like we all are human. I hate that guy right now. So, like, I mean, it's a natural thing. And, you know, karma is a bitch. It'll happen. And I'll probably get it. And then I'll learn from it. But it's just...
I just wish that people didn't... I don't know. I just wish I didn't have the urge to, like, give that sort of situation any kind of, like, life. But...
It gives you material, hey?
Let me tell you, it doesn't happen very often. That's the first time I've ever yelled in a store. But, yeah, I was just like...
First time, you? Actually, I recently yelled in a store for the first time. I've never done it before. Bitch dog.
Oh, bitch dog. I can't believe you haven't told this story yet. You told Amanda though, right?
Yeah, I think so, but I'll just refresh your memory.
Please.
So we were
This is
in
a
a
great
place
story.
of a grocery, of a store. And Justin and I were like at a till. We were like waiting in line. And then this guy opens a new till saying like, okay, we have another till. So me and Justin go to that side, and then this lady that was in the till that we were originally at,
yes, you told me this.
She was like,
you did tell, yeah.
I get to go first, right? Because I've been waiting in line from these people.
and I was like, okay. She has like 4 fucking items in her hand. I'm like, all right, like Jesus, like you don't have to be so rude.
Like just go.
And she was like, Jesus. And I was like,
she
all
like
right.
mimics you.
And I was like, I get a lot of people who mock me. I think people who don't like me, they hate the way I sound. That's what I find.
No, it's all they have. It's all they have. They need something to pick up off of you, and that's all they have. So
it's so funny because I know a couple people.
That's what you're giving them.
So anyway, so I'm standing there and I'm like, all right, this is happening. And so I was like, you don't have to be rude. I'm just stating the fact that you can just wait. You don't have, like, we're in line. And in her defense, I won't be biased here. In her defense, the till that she was at closed down. That's why they opened a new one. So the person that was at the old till had to go to work or go on break. So I understand. I get it. But at the same time, you had 4 fucking items. You could have just waited for us. We had what, 2 or something?
Literally 2. I think we were just buying ice cream.
So anyway, one of the managers comes up. He's like, is there a problem? I'm like, yes, she's being really rude right now. And I just don't appreciate it. And he's like, here, just come over here and we'll open a till for you. And I'm like, cool. I was like, bitch, under my breath as I walked by her. And so
did she hear you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No one else did. And as we're done at the till.
Oh, wait, how old was this woman, just out of curiosity?
Oh, like 70? No, she wasn't.
No,
like 50.
she was
50,
like
60?
maybe
Okay.
50, yeah.
Okay.
And so we're like 6-7 tills away from her now. And so we're at the till, and she just comes up right behind me. She's like, bitch dog. And then she runs away.
Like, bitch dog, what is that? I've never heard that in my life. It was hilarious though.
And I was like, oh. And then the guy was like, ma'am, can you stop, please? That's inappropriate.
Like, we don't accept that kind of language
Ma'am.
in this store.
Ma'am.
Oh, he was a security guard too, I think.
Oh my god, he had to like intervene.
And I was like,
dog.
I was like, if you're gonna fucking be rude to people, do it right. Don't yell it out in front of everyone so they can hear you, you idiot. Gotta play the
do
game.
what I did.
Yeah. Don't do what I
That
did,
is
people.
funny.
Please don't do what I did. I was mad.
Okay.
I was angry.
While we're on these like ranty kind of stories, I have one that just happened 2 days ago. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Put a pin on that for 1 second. I have to tell you this before I forget.
Okay.
I've told Justin this already though. So Amanda works at a place where they sell food, and that food is from a company.
It's really gross and it's all frozen.
That food actually gets made in Vancouver. I just discovered it. And guess where it is? Right by my fucking work.
Oh.
Yeah. The bakery is right.
So why can't we get it fresh then? Why do we have to get it frozen?
You probably get it fresher than most people. It's just it just gets
that's
frozen. But I just thought that was so cool.
What are the chances,
What are
though?
the
Yeah.
odds of
That is
me
funny.
working there and then coming to my new job and there's the fucking
Are
bakery.
you talking about the bakery brand or the?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of the muffins, the brownies,
Yeah,
et cetera, et
It's
cetera.
that French name, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So take a pin out of that and go. I just wanted to say that before I forgot.
Okay, so the place that Dustin used to work at and the place that I'm currently at, we have mobile ordering. So you can order anything you want on your phone, and that way it's kind of like their whole thing is like, you know, you don't have time and you skip the line. I mean, I'm pretty sure our followers, our listeners, they know where we work or where I work. But we haven't said the name, so, you know, that's fine. If you figured it out, good for you.
You guys have been really good lately too. You haven't said it.
Yeah.
Dustin.
What?
Next time you should be like, Dustin, so that he actually knows you're pissed.
Dustin.
Oh, nice.
Cunt.
He didn't break. Cunt. Okay. And tell me if I overreacted, please. Okay.
Probably not.
So this story involves me and 2299 and a customer. Okay. So we're working. It's like the evening. I would say it's like not evening. It's probably like 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. This girl comes up to me, an Asian girl, with her phone, and she's like, excuse me. And her English isn't great. It's not bad though. She's like, is this your location here? And then she reads out the address and I'm like, yep. And she's like, okay, well, I've been waiting here for 15 minutes and I ordered a flat white 20 minutes ago. And I'm like, oh, well, did you check in and see if, and then I walk over to the mobile. There it is. It's sitting there, a little tall flat white, and it's there. She's like, no. And I'm like, well, you need to ask us if you're, you know what I mean? You have to come in and you have to say, I'm here for, like, you don't just walk in and we're like, oh, there's the mobile order girl. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You don't have like a radar on you.
Can't read your mind.
I'm like, and then she's looking at me like I swear to God, she's looking at me like I'm speaking Japanese. I'm like, yeah, you need to come in and ask us. Let us know that you're here to pick up the mobile order.
There's literally a sign that says, come pick up here.
And this is literally the story for you. It was me saying that to her and her looking at me like I was being rude to her. Because I was like, no, that's all you have to, like, yeah, you have to ask us. We don't just make the drink. Like, we'll call it out when we first make it. If you're not here, we put it down in the mobile area. And then when you come in, you have to check in and at the bar or wherever you decide to go, and we'll get it for you. I'm like, but you've been waiting here for 15 minutes? Like, seriously, are you that stupid? Like, this is the kind of stupid you have to deal with when you're in customer service. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
So then Thelma, 2299, she was on bar. So this girl, she's trying to explain it to the girl because I'm like, I don't have time to talk to you anymore. Like, this is what you do. You know, here's your fucking drink. If it's cold, we'll remake it. But next time, check in with us. So I go back on till or whatever I'm doing. And then I guess Thelma was trying to explain it to her, like, yeah, we call it out when we make it, but then we put it down, and then, you know, if you're not, you got to come in and ask. She still looks confused, like that is just outrageous. Like, well, what did you expect, honey? What did you expect? And I'm still reeling about it. I'm like, what did she think? Like, what did she think was going to happen? Anyway, so then Thelma comes up to me later and she's like, you might want to like apologize because she asked for the manager. I told her that you were the manager because I guess I was the only one in charge. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not. I feel like I wasn't rude to her. And I feel
asking
like
for the manager?
Yeah, like, no. She just said to Thelma, like, is your manager here? Like, I guess. And then I don't know if she was actually asking, but she was kind of like implying that I was a bit rude to her. And she didn't understand what we were talking about. So... And Thelma was just like, and she didn't like, so she just said, yeah, she's the manager, like to me. Like she just said, she's the manager, I'll let her know or whatever. So she came up to me and she's like, you might want to go talk to her and just maybe explain again or just like, you know, and I was just like, you know what, Thelma, like, no. She can complain about me if she wants, but I wasn't rude. She was acting like a fucking idiot. And she said, oh yeah. And then Thelma was like, yeah, I know. She said it was her first time using the mobile app. I'm like, I mean, really? You wait there for 15 minutes and you don't think to ask? Like, hey, I ordered you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not going to cater to your stupidity.
Yeah.
So that was it. And I said to Thelma, like, no, I'm not going up to her. For what? I wasn't even rude to her. She might feel like an idiot because she is an idiot because I told her what was what. Like, I wasn't rude to her. I was just like, I was looking at her like she was kind of crazy. I was like, well, you need to ask. Like, you need to tell us you're here. We have like 50 people in the store. Do you want us to go up to everybody and say, oh, hey, are you blah, blah, blah for this order?
Yeah. I had the same thing happen to me, actually.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a first.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
seems to
I
be
was
a
just
theme.
like, wow. Like,
Well, this one's even more extreme because this bitch decides to come. No, I'll rephrase that. So this woman,
God.
this woman decides to. She works at the same place that we work at,
But a different location?
Yeah, and not just like down the street or maybe like I don't know in Burnaby. She's in fucking Surrey. That's where her store is. And she comes all the way down Vancouver to come to this store.
I'd like to think that she was in Vancouver for something else.
To just fucking rip on us. Like, I kid you not, she comes into the store and she's like to Maria, oh, you're not very happy, are you? Like, you're not really, what's going on?
What the fuck?
Like,
Well, I don't blame her.
you should
Maria
be-
is. But I mean, that's just how Maria is.
And Maria's like, okay. And so then she comes to me and she grabs her stuff. She goes, sits down. She puts a mobile order. Now, unlike you, I actually don't call the mobile orders out all the time.
Oh, okay.
So this one, especially on the weekends, because they're usually never there. So she was like there for like 10 minutes and she's like, it's my mobile order here. Like, I don't know where it is. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's this one. And she's like, well, why didn't you call it out? I'm like, I don't call mobile orders out. I just make the
them.
drink and then you come and pick it up. I thought that's how that worked. And then so we went back and forth and then she's like, are you a shift supervisor? I'm like, no, I'm not. And I said it so confidently that it makes me wonder if she thought it was the manager. But anyway, I just like, she just was like pursuing, like, she was so persistent on like making sure I called it out. And I'm like, you work fucking miles.
How did you find out where she worked? Did she tell you?
She told me. And I was like,
Maybe she was a manager.
well, here's the thing. If I needed to go to Surrey, I wouldn't go to a Starbucks and then fucking bitch up to them of how they're working. It doesn't matter what
To be honest, I try to avoid our our place of work when I'm not working.
It's like you don't like. It doesn't even matter what she was doing in Vancouver. You came to this. You know you work at a. And then you just rip on people. It's like, what else better do you have to do? And she was just being like, I don't think that's right. Like she's just like acting like this. I just couldn't deal.
I would have to remove myself from that area until she left.
The hatred.
So I was gonna like quickly bring up this drink.
Yes. Oh my god.
God,
right.
I mean,
Who
you
was?
guys,
Can you tell me the person first?
Yeah,
Like,
so she comes. So you guys, we worked last Friday, me and Phillips, and I told Phillips, I'm like, this is good podcast material, and he laughed. But no, like this is just stupid.
did you treat her like shit? Like, did you? Like, what did you? How did you guys talk?
We didn't. She came in. She was like this fresh off the boat Chinese girl, and she came in with her mom, and her mom looked like a peacock with her hair. They looked ridiculous, both of them. And I was like, of course it would be your drink. Like, you know what it's like? It's like she never had a drink from us before, and so she just wanted to get all the options. So she would like try to get 10 different drinks in one drink, and it's like it doesn't work like that. More than half of the cup was syrups and sugars and stuff, and then she wanted extra whip. So it was probably like, I don't know, that much milk.
That's disgusting.
It was disgusting. So you guys, I'll read it out to you. So it was called, it's a medium-sized salted caramel mocha. 1/3 decaf, triple, ristretto, 6 pumps toffee nut syrup, 2 pumps caramel syrup, 2 pumps hazelnut, 2 pumps cinnamon dolce, 2 pumps chestnut praline, 2% milk, sugar, Splenda, extra caramel drizzle, extra mocha drizzle, extra cinnamon powder, extra nutmeg powder, no foam, steamed, sub-blonde espresso, long shot, extra whip. Anyway. I'll just never understand. And it took Phillips 10 minutes to make this drink because it was a long shot. And then like,
But wasn't there ristretto?
so he was like, so you can't have blonde and decaf, and you can't have this and this. And she's like, okay. And then she like chose what she wanted. It was just so stupid, you guys. Ugh.
I don't think anybody would actually order that for real. Like, I
But
think
she
it would
did.
have to have been
That's
a
what everybody
joke.
said. They were like, did they come and pick it up? I'm like, yeah, she was there. She was waiting, and she did not have a smile on her face.
Did she drink it? Like,
I didn't actually see her. I
okay,
didn't
okay.
care to look.
She like dumps it on the floor.
oh god.
She's like,
Well, that would make sense, but I don't think
Yeah,
so. I
that
think
would- yeah,
she
that would be
actually
funny.
drank it, like, or tried to.
or like fucking cavities.
Anyway, that's disgusting.
That's
and I was just like,
hilarious.
oh, that makes my head hurt. Because you know these people are for real. Who would do that for not for real? Who?
It's so weird.
like, do you have that much time on your hands?
I don't know. Here's the thing. Like,
I wonder how much that cost her, that drink. Because you don't know how much they pay when it's online.
My mic just fell.
So did you have anything you wanted to share?
Yeah, anyway, sorry. Okay.
It's gonna get good.
First of all, I just want to correct something that I said in the last podcast episode, sorry. Well, actually,
Feeling regretful,
two
are we?
things.
Or make an apology.
Well, okay, not so much an apology, but
I just have to say,
I have to make a formal apology to the people.
So sorry, Bethany.
To the people of the podcast.
Well, one thing that it's remember I talked about that homeless woman that would come into Tim Hortons? I got her name wrong, and when I realized it, I was like, oh yeah, great. I had such a great relationship with her. I don't even know her fucking name.
What did we say her name was?
Oh, well, I said it was Angel, but it's
yeah.
actually Sunshine. I worked with somebody named Angel, and I actually always got them mixed up. Okay. But anyway, Sunshine.
Oh,
That's just
Sunshine.
one thing.
I wonder if that was her name at birth.
I don't think so.
I know.
Last episode, I said all of the managers in my restaurant are shit, essentially. And I think that was like a generalized statement. I'm having a lot of issues with one of my managers right now. And I have had issues with other managers in the past, but I'm going to name drop. Ashley is amazing. Like, I've never had a problem with her before, but
So what are the issues that you're having with this manager? Like, what is...
Well, one really big perk of working in the place that I'm at is that the people are awesome. Like,
right.
all of my coworkers are amazing. We're all like kind of like you guys. Like, I feel like it's sort of like a family, and I think that's why it's so hard for me to leave. Because as the podcast knows, I quit around Christmas time.
All right, yeah.
And then I was
told you guys.
miraculously rehired. And I thought that it was going to be a great experience because I was offered a serving position, and that's what I wanted for so long. And I think that it was a big mistake. I was actually talking to one of my coworkers today, and she's been there for 5 years now.
Wow.
She's coming up on her 5th year.
She's a server?
She was, I don't really want to say too much because then people will know who it is, and I don't really want people to know. Yeah. But she's been there for a long time, and she was just talking to me, and she's like, Justin, why are you still here? Like, you've talked to me so much about how you don't like how things are run, and you just are unhappy with so many things. Like, you're one of the most senior people in the morning right now. Like, you don't need to be here anymore. Like, you can do so much better. And I think that's when I realized.
Weird coming from
fully.
her, though, if she's been there for 5 years.
Well, she's sort of in a different situation.
Oh, okay.
She's from a different place in the world, so it's
it.
not. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not so much of a luxury.
Yes, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it just really hit me there. Like, I need to just stop trying to change this place to fit what I like, and I need to just go.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to change how things are run here. I feel like this podcast just got a lot more serious and less exciting, but
No.
it's
But can I just say, I don't
yeah.
think that you made a mistake by staying. I think that it all happened for a reason, and I think
Okay.
that you got that server experience for whatever
A little
it
bit
is,
of
3
bartending,
months.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a bartending
So now
shift
when
tomorrow.
you go somewhere else, if you go somewhere else, it's like you really have a lot to be confident about.
Yeah.
Whereas, I was a server, like sometimes, but I mostly bust. No, it's like now it's like you've been a server. So
That's true. Yeah, I have like full 3 months of actual serving. Sorry, you go.
I think that you are meant to be a bartender, and I know you've told me you don't like it, but I don't think people want bartenders to talk all the time to them and shit like that. I think you're quiet enough, and you're a compelling person. I just think you're meant for it. So I actually think like Amanda said, there was a reason, and I think it could possibly be because of bartending, but I don't know.
It could be. I don't know. Yeah,
It's just like a idea.
I was randomly given like a bartending shift. I was with another bartender, so I wasn't alone, and I was so surprised by it. I was like, "Why am I even working this? I didn't ask for it. I didn't say I was interested." But it ended up being really great, and I've worked quite a few bartending shifts since then. Now,
Yeah.
it's really great. Yeah. But anyway, I just want to get into the drama. So this one manager, she's the morning manager. I'm so close to just saying her name. I think that's probably not a good idea. I fully hate this person.
Wow.
And fully. I have had issues with her a year ago. I posted a Facebook status, and you know how you get those memories
Yes.
of oh, you posted this a year ago. I got my big giant rant about her. I was Justin, fuck, like this has been going on for a year. Why are you still here?
And you still feel the same way.
And I still feel the exact same way. Well, things have gotten better and worse because it's the people, you know.
Yeah.
And I've moved into the evenings and back into the mornings and things like that. But so we do this thing called spring cleaning in spring, obviously, and I didn't know what it was. I just saw it on my schedule. And so I texted my manager. I was like, what is spring cleaning? Like, I've never seen this before. And all she says, I think she texted me like a day later too.
Is this the woman that you don't like?
This is the one that I don't like. And she was just like, show up with exclamation points. I was like, oh,
come on.
Okay. All right. But what is the shift? Like, you've given me a totally obscure position and you're not telling me like, should I bring float money or should I dress nice? Like, I have no idea what to expect.
What kind of manager is that?
Oh, I know. And I think sorry, I don't need it.
So unprofessional. Show up.
And so I texted that. I was like, but what is it? And she was like,
show up. Like, how is that any different from any other shift?
Yeah, I show up every shift. And she was like, Justin, you'll be helping management in I think she used the word gutting the banquet room. So we have like these separate rooms in the restaurant because we're part of a hotel. And so in these rooms, we hold like special events like birthdays, and we've had like a wedding there before, a wedding reception, which I don't understand. And and she's like, you'll be helping gutting this room, which is, I assume, was like cleaning it and organizing it, because we have a lot of like tables and chairs that we have to store in the back, and it just becomes like just this giant mess. And
it's like, why couldn't you have said that the first time?
Yeah,
you stupid cunt.
Well, but then I was like, okay, I don't think that's the job of a server. Nice. I don't really think, I don't understand.
That's not in my job description.
Yeah, exactly though. And I think the wording I used was, I don't understand why I was given this shift. That's not really a serving shift. And and she was like, well, it's the job of a team player, and it's the exact same duties that you've done before, and I'll pay you extra. And I was like, this is insanely unprofessional.
You didn't even ask.
I'll pay you extra under the table?
That's like, what I assume.
Prostitution?
I was like, I didn't sign up for this sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
That's actually the thing. Like, I'm glad that Dustin brought that up, because she's done this to me before with a bartending shift, but that ended up being a good thing. She just like gives me these random shifts that I have no idea what they are, and just doesn't think to ask me or like check if that's okay,
or even just explain it to you.
Yeah, or even be like, hey, I gave you this shift just so you know. It just like appears on my schedule.
And I'm sure that you would be a lot more open to taking these shifts if she did go about it appropriately.
Yeah, and I was telling Dustin that a couple weeks ago. It's almost like she's doing it on purpose, just
to kind of like fuck with you.
I don't understand.
That's what it kind of feels like from what you're explaining.
Because when I came back, after I quit and then I came back, I almost did it as like a favor, because the last couple of weeks before I quit, she was like, oh no, why don't you just come in the mornings with me? Like, you don't have to, while you're looking for another job, you can just work here for a while just for extra money. I was like, I mean, that's not a bad idea. Like, it's best to have a job. So sure, I'll do that for a while. And then a weekend, she's like, okay, so you need to commit to working this many months, and I want you in the summer because it's going to be really busy. And I was like, whoa, since when did this become like this official thing? Like, I'm literally just helping you out, and you're helping me out a little bit, and all of this is supposed to be so that I can find a job and have some income in the meantime. Yeah. So it's just really confusing. I ended up telling her that I'm not working the shift. I said, this isn't the job of a server, and I'm sorry. And she got all pissy, and she's like, forget it, Justin. I'll find somebody else.
Nice,
like, okay, maybe find another manager, because it's the manager's job.
Or find somebody who's like new to the job, who's a busser, and probably a busser would be like, okay, this is probably the same.
Yeah, well, because I used to be a busser too, and we did that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah, like, fuck off and leave the people with seniority alone. Like, don't you have any, like, don't they want to like appreciate you and keep you around? She's like, she's trying to piss you off and push you out the door.
It really,
she does that with a lot of the workers.
That's what I'm saying, it's not just me.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like,
it just doesn't make sense. Like, why push everyone? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't.
You're just making a poisonous atmosphere.
Yeah.
Maybe she's just really unhappy with her life, and so she just
probably. I mean, she's been there for like 30 years, so probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's just what's been going on in my life.
That's frustrating.
I feel like she's been talking to the other managers too, because
Probably.
they've all been giving me a cold shoulder, and it's just like it just brings morale down. Like if you want me to stay, then treat me well. Are you thinking about
leaving now more than usual? Yeah.
Like especially today, I had that talk with my other coworker today. I was like, "Okay, you're right. I don't know how I've let it go this far. Like I really need to leave."
Well, also there was someone who I guess not promised, but they were telling you that there might be a position at this other restaurant, and so you've been waiting on that.
Yeah, there's been a few things. Yeah. Well, and I also kind of wanted to wait until we moved so that I could find a place that was close to our house.
Yeah.
But I think I just need to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really good for you, and your I don't know, your stamina, like just having a fresh new place where everyone likes you, everyone's at an equal playing field.
Yeah. When you're working at a place like this though, like it makes you feel like you're not a good worker. And I know that I'm a fucking good worker. I've been given compliments every job I've had. Every job I've had, I've worked my hardest. Like actually, I'm not just saying that. And that's why I've been a supervisor.
I believe that though, just knowing you and your personality, like I can't really see you being any other way.
Yeah.
And I just wonder when you just said that.
Yeah.
When you just said that about, I don't know what you said. You said something just like 2 minutes ago. I don't know if there's any workplace out there that's perfect. There's always going to be problems, unfortunately. You know, like there's always going to be issues with people. There's going to be conflict, and so
it's like those first couple of months that are so sweet, where it's just everyone's on equal. Yeah. Kind of like, hey, we're all new, and then something happens, and I never know. I can never put my finger on what it is, but I think it's someone just. I think it has to do with like the authority.
It's almost like the honeymoon stage, right? It just sort of fades away, and it's like, oh, now I see who you really are. Or like
I know people.
The excitement just goes away, and then it's just you realize the shitty pay and the shitty work.
I think what gets me though, like you could be a piece of shit and I could work with you, but once you start what's the word? Being
like taking advantage of?
Exclusive.
Exclusive.
I get really, that drives me insane. Like, you know that about me, when other people are inviting other people and other people are left behind, it drives me up the fucking wall.
Well, it's just very immature as well. It's just childish.
And that's probably it for me. Like I work with like really awesome people.
That's great. So
and it seems pretty good so far. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we go and we eat every Friday. So I don't know, like I think there's a way to just be like, okay, let's all be on an equal playing field. It's just harder when you spend a lot more time with people than you kind of want to know, like you want to be around them more, expectation, like you don't want to be excluded. I get it. It's frustrating. Mm-hmm. I don't know where I'm going with this though.
Well, that sucks, Justin, but I mean,
it does.
It's all good.
It's all coming to a head now.
I mean, I'm glad I realized it now, so
yeah,
I can do something about it.
Yeah. And like you did get something out of the job, so it's not like it was a complete waste of time.
Yeah, you know how to make a fucking quesadilla with 2 ingredients. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Really good.
There was this one time me and Dustin were really high and we ran out of food.
The motherfucking hell out of me.
Well, you'd be surprised how crafty and creative you can get when you're high.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
hungry. You're like, okay. Would have never put these two together.
Are you working tomorrow?
Yeah. Would have never put these two together on any.
Yeah. 9?
Yeah.
9 o'clock?
Tomorrow I close 12.
Oh, you close, huh? Interesting. Do you work tomorrow?
Tomorrow I do. I work at 4.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
All right, anyway.
What about you?
I go to work at 9. It's fucking amazing every day.
Yeah, fuck you.
I've actually been trying to get up earlier just so that I could like impress my supervisors. So I'm leaving my phone over by the couch, so when it rings I have to get out.
That's what I've been doing too.
It's so good. It really gets you out of bed.
Once you're up, you're like, oh, I could go back in bed, but I'm up.
Then I feel stupid.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start doing that. But
nice.
I think that's. Do you have anything more to say on that note? Because I know you were still.
No, I'm honestly like really tired. So if we ended it, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, I think we're done. And do you have anything
I'm
else?
exhausted too.
All right. Well, have a great fucking day, guys.
Have a great fucking day.
Have a great fucking day.
Bye.
Bye.